Bear with me. Make sure my feed is good. Let's see here. Right.
Now at 5:30, a food vendor working outside of a Home Depot clings to a tree while masked agents try to pry her off and take her away. Witnesses capturing the tense moments on camera. Good evening. This is the KTLA 5 News at 5:30. I'm Cher Calvin.
And I'm Micah Ullman. Bystanders claim the agents refused to identify themselves.
KTLA's Alina Bovian is live in Ladera Heights, where she spoke with one of those witnesses. Alina.
Hi, Mike and Cher. Well, it happened right here on Fairfax, and it was in the afternoon on Monday, and we did speak to a witness. She says that the federal agents did not have a warrant for taking this woman in.
Don't answer any questions. You don't have to say anything.
Aleka LeBlanc is the woman behind this cell phone video.
Oh, no.
It was taken on Monday outside the Home Depot in Ladera Heights on Fairfax.
Questions. What's your name? Let me see your ID.
She approaches a group of federal agents taking this woman into custody.
What you're doing is getting... What's wrong with you? Get the...
A 25-year-old taco street vendor with her arms wrapped around a tree, clinging to it to avoid detention.
She was calm and quiet and just resilient. Like, she held onto the tree, but, you know, eventually they were able to rip her off, shove her arms behind her back. Show your IDs.
The federal agents were in black SUVs. They had guns, she says, and some of them wearing vests with Border Patrol insignia.
These guys throw 3 canisters of tear gas at, like, I don't know, the 5 of us who were standing around.
As of now, the Department of Homeland Security has not responded to KTLA's inquiry regarding this woman. She's been identified as Selena Vanessa Hernandez Ramirez from El Salvador and a mother to a 5-year-old boy. Aleka found her on the ICE locator website, and she was told she's still being processed.
Here's the thing, is whether she has a criminal record or not, like, they didn't even know who she was. Like, it was clearly just being profiled, chasing some random woman with brown skin down the street.
And we did reach out to Department of Homeland Security, but we are still waiting to hear back. I'm Lena Bourbon in Ladera Heights, KTLA 5 News.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 7 in the NLT. Jeremiah 50, verse 7 in the New Living Translation. And it reads, "All who found them devoured them. Their enemies said, 'We did nothing wrong in attacking them, for they sinned against the Lord, their true place of rest and the hope of their ancestors.'" That was the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 7 in the NLT as my preface precept. Before I get started with this lesson, I'd like to give all praise and glory to our power, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone that taught me this truth that rule well. Peace and salutation to the 144,000 elect. This your brother Kawas coming at you with another lesson in this truth, 24/7, 365. This is what I do to get you in the mood. Kwam Yasharala, Rise Israel. We got next, baby, any day now, guaranteed. Can't wait, book it. The 2 most important things you'll ever know as a Hebrew Israelite in this knowledge, in this truth, is the name of our power, which is Yahweh, and the name of his son, which is Yahweh Shai. Esau Edom, ESAU. Esau Edom is a so-called white man. He's not white, but he's red. He's our red, sinister Hebrew big brother, Esau Edom. We are Jacob of the Bible. You got that good? Pray for me. I'm praying for you. Hope to listen edifying and to the point. The northern kingdom, Ephraim, Issachar, Gad, Naphtali, Asher, Zebulun, Manasseh is getting judged. And the Most High has always started with the northern kingdom first with the oppression. Then next will be you darker tribe, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. So the kingdom was separated, meaning Judah, when you say Judah, it's referring to Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Then when it says Israel, it's referring to the Latino tribes, Ephraim on down to Issachar. And at this moment, Ephraim or Israel, the northern kingdom, is being judged. So my purpose precept was in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 7. I'm going to read it again. All who found them devoured them. Who's finding the northern kingdom? Who's finding Israel right now? ICE, Esau, Edom. Their enemies said, ICE, we did nothing wrong in attacking them. That's why ICE attacks you the way he does, and throw you down and take your children and take your parents and your wives and your husbands. We did nothing wrong, for they sinned against the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. How has the northern kingdom sinned against the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai? Well, I looked up right here the Mexican religious holidays. And now remember, the northern kingdom all have in common these holidays, these religious holidays, from Ephraim all the way down to Issachar. Let me grab 12 tribes of Israel chart for those that do not know the 12 tribes. Let me see if I can get this chart right here. Bear with me. Let me see if I could make it bigger. Here we go. How can I get rid of this? Come on now, stop. How did this pop up? Well, anyway, see how it has Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. It's 12 tribes. So the first three, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, are the darker tribes. In the scriptures, it would be considered Judah. Then you have Ephraim on down to Issachar. So that would be Ephraim, so-called Puerto Ricans, Manasseh, so-called Cubans, Simeon, so-called Dominicans, Zebulon, so-called Guatemalan to Panama, Gad, so-called Native American Indian, Reuben, so-called Seminole Indian, Asher, so-called Colombians to Uruguay, Issachar, so-called Mexicans, and Naphtali, so-called Argentinians or Chile. So when the scripture says Israel, it's referring to Ephraim all the way down to Naphtali. Okay, so all these 9 tribes from Ephraim all the way down to Naphtali, what they have in common are these religious holidays. Let's start with the Day of the Virgin Guadalupe, Dia de la Virgen de Guadalupe, celebrated on December 12th. This holiday honors the Virgin Mary as the patron saint of Mexico. That's a no-no. We don't honor the Virgin Mary. I believe in the Quran, which we don't read. That has no prophecies in it. The Quran has a book about Mary. Wait a minute. We don't worship the Virgin Mary or Mary. So they're off with that. That's why right here in my preface precept, it says Jeremiah 50 and 7. This is what I says. Jeremiah 50 and 7 in the NLT says, we did nothing wrong in attacking them. This is ICE. For they sinned against the Lord. How are they sinning against the Lord? Celebrating Dia de la Virgen de Guadalupe, the day of Virgin Guadalupe. And I'm putting this up raw, so I'm gonna just jump right to it. Why not? Real quick, go to Hosea chapter 1. Salakia. Hosea chapter 8. Hosea chapter 8. I'm going to read the first 4 verses. Then I'm going to get to another video. Hosea chapter 8, verse 1 through 4. And the title in the blue letter is Israel reaps the whirlwind. Remember, I told you Israel in the scriptures is referring to the northern kingdom tribes, from Ephraim all the way down to Naphtali. Okay, so Hosea, the prophet Hosea, is referring to you Latino tribes, right? Listen good. Hosea chapter 8, verse 1 through 4, and it reads, "Set the trumpet to thy mouth. He shall come as an eagle against the house of the Lord Yahweh, because they have transgressed my covenant and trespassed against my law." How has the northern kingdom transgressed the Most High Yahweh's covenant and trespassed against his law? By celebrating these holidays. Day of the Virgin, Day Guadalupe on December 12th. Semana Santa, which is a holy week. This week leading up to Easter is a significant religious observance in Mexico. So you're celebrating Easter. We don't celebrate Easter. We celebrate the Passover, which is 2 different days, 2 different celebrations. Let's get one more. And I got a few more, but I'm just going to get one more real quick, and I'm going to get back. Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead. This is what a northern tribe celebrate. Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead, a 3-day celebration. A 3-day celebration beginning on October 31st. That's off. That's the day. We don't celebrate Halloween. From October 31st to November 2nd, honoring deceased loved ones. What? Why are you honoring deceased loved ones? They're not in heaven thinking about you. They're not in the spiritual world thinking about you, but you're honoring the deceased loved ones? Blending Catholic, ding, 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 that's off. Blending Catholic, All Saints and All Souls Day. Wait a minute. So you're combining All Saints and All Souls Day with indigenous traditions. Want to know why the Most High is on your ass, Ephraim? On your ass, Israel, you northern kingdom? Back to Hosea 8, verse 2. Israel, the northern kingdom, shall cry unto me. And they're crying now, help us. This is not fair. You can't do this. Well, they're doing it. You can't do this, but they're doing it. Hosea 8 and 2. Israel, the northern kingdom, shall cry unto me, and they're doing it now. My power, we know thee. No, you don't. You're calling on Cesare Borgia. You're celebrating the Day of the Dead. You're honoring Virgin Mary. We know thee. No, you don't. You don't even know the name of the Most High Yahweh. Verse 3, Hosea 8, Israel, the northern kingdom, has cast off the thing that is good. This knowledge, this truth of who we are, the 12 tribes of Israel, you blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and Haitians. The enemy shall pursue them. ICE is on your ass. ICE, baby, inside joke, is on your ass, Ephraim, Issachar, Naphtali, Zebulun, Issachar, Gad, Israel, Salakia, Hosea 8 and 3. Israel has cast off the thing that is good. The enemy shall pursue them. Verse 4, Hosea 8 and 4. They set up kings, the Day of the Dead, Virgin Mary, Guadalupe, Mother Heaven. They set up kings, Cesare Borgia, Guadalupe, but not by me. They have made princes, and I knew it not. Of their silver and of their gold have they made them idols, that they may be cut off. Back to a video. Let's get this one. Bear with me. I'm getting to my history. Bear with me. Let's get this one here. Let's go to, let's do this one. Yeah, let's try this one. Check this out.
2 feet, you can record. Why are you taking him?
Stay back for a few feet. You can record. Just stay back a couple feet.
No, I want to know. I'm his pastor.
He has a warrant, sir. All right.
For what?
He's being arrested for immigration.
He's asylum seeker.
It doesn't matter.
Well, you know what? No. This is an Iranian. I don't want to get to that one. He's an Iranian. I want to get to the Northern Kingdom tribe. He's an Iranian that they got. But let me get this one. Bear with me. I got a few more. Just bear with me. I'm trying to make this quick. No. Let me see. Let's try this one right here. Yeah.
Agents in a Culver City neighborhood is shaken tonight after a beloved ice cream vendor is taken from a park in broad daylight by masked agents in unmarked cars. Federal agents took Ambrosio Lozano into custody earlier this week, leaving only his ice cream cart behind.
Tonight, residents in the neighborhood where he has been selling ice cream for decades are outraged and saddened by his disappearance. Sandra Mitchell live in Culver City tonight. Sandra?
Yeah, Micah, those community members so outraged, they told us tonight they're willing to go to court to defend this ice cream vendor. We talked with his family as well, and they say they have now recovered his ice cream cart, and they tell us they're going to be back on the street selling ice cream to support his legal fund. An abandoned cart, the only sign that Enrique, the ice cream man, had been taken into custody.
Yeah.
We don't know if he's going to get deported. He doesn't even know where they're sending him to, if they're sending him somewhere.
Monday afternoon at his usual spot on Culver Boulevard near Veterans Park, Ambrosio Lozano, known to neighbors as Enrique, was able to make a phone call to his wife as he was being taken away by ICE agents.
He was just crying, and he told her kind of like where the cart was at and that he was being taken and that he loved her. That's basically what she got before the phone went dead.
Enrique had been selling ice cream in the area for almost 20 years. He was a part of community events, and neighbors insist not a threat.
We hear a lot about how they're catching gang members and murderers and everything, but really what they're taking is our ice cream men and our nannies and our gardeners. So
others say he was friendly, always willing to give goodies to children, even if they didn't have money.
I just don't understand it. Like, go after a criminal, don't go after the ice cream man. Like, it's ridiculous to me. Like, I feel very heartbroken.
And many can't believe how he was taken, they say, by unidentified men in unmarked SUVs.
Doesn't seem legal to me at all. I would think that you'd have to have paperwork and I mean, it just seems crazy.
His niece acknowledges Enrique was not a U.S. citizen and says as a Mexican man pushing an ice cream cart, he was an easy target.
It's so sad to see because they're just out there trying to find work to do, you know? They're trying to provide for their family, and it's not okay.
His family did give us an update tonight saying that Enrique is being held at the detention center in downtown LA, and they were able to get a quick visit with him today. By the way, they do have a GoFundMe account. It has already reached almost $40,000. We have a link on our website, ktla.com. We're live tonight in Culver City. I'm Sandra Mitchell. Micah and Cher, back to you.
Wow. Okay. Let me go back to that. My preface precept. It's beautiful, and the NLT is beautiful. It says, all who found them devoured them. ICE is finding Issachar and Ephraim everywhere. They're finding them and they're devouring them, taking them from their families. Their enemies, ICE said, we did nothing wrong in attacking them. You know, the Edomites or the people that were saying, I don't know why they're going after him. He's not a criminal. You know, we did nothing wrong in attacking them. See, this is ICE. We did nothing wrong in attacking them, for they sinned against the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua. I'm pretty sure he's a Catholic. I can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure he called on Cesare Borgia or Guadalupe or Mother Heaven. For they have sinned against the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua. And real quick, back to that that Hosea 8 and 1, set the trumpet to thy mouth. He shall come as an eagle against the house of the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua, because they have transgressed my covenant and trespassed against my law. Let's get another video. Bear with me. I don't have them all queued up because I don't want to have that many tabs open, so I'm gonna have to keep going back to my history. I got them in my history. Just bear with me. Okay, let's see here. I just showed you. Let's check this one out. How long is this one? Let's try this one.
John Finel.
It's been almost 3 weeks since Los Angeles became the epicenter of President Trump's massive deportation crackdown of undocumented immigrants. And now we are learning more about just who is being taken into custody. President Trump promised he would launch the largest deportation program of criminals in American history.
Right. And real quick, let me grab that. Who President Trump is in the scriptures. Isaiah 19. And the brothers were bringing this out a lot during what's going on with Issachar, the northern kingdom's oppression. Isaiah 19:4. It reads, "And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord." And the Egyptians are the modern day Americans. And Jakey, Keisha, dark-skinned Jakey, Keisha, we're next. You next. Okay, right now it's the northern kingdom, but next will be the southern kingdom. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord. Who's the cruel Lord that the Most High is going to give us over to, give the Israelites over to? DJT. And a fierce king. DJT, remember, no King's Day, right? And a fierce king, DJT, shall rule over them, says the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the power of hosts. I think I got one more. I think I got it right here. I think that's in Deuteronomy 28, part of the curses. Deuteronomy 28. I believe this is what I want. Bear with me. I want to get back to the video. I'm reading. I'm looking for something. Bear with me. Yes, right here. Deuteronomy 28, verse 49 and 50. The Lord Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from afar, the Edomites, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. Ever since Esau came over here to America, that's that nation that he will bring against thee from afar. The Edomites, those Europeans, how do I want to explain it? The white trash of Europe came to America. American Edomites, the American white man, is the worst of the worst white men. They're the trash, the white trash of Europe, and they sent they white trash to America. Deuteronomy 28:49. The Lord Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from afar. When they came to America, the white trash of Europe, from the end of the earth, as swift as an eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue you shall not understand. Come over speaking Latin and English, right? The natives here in America were speaking Hebrew, but they came over here with Latin and English. Deuteronomy 28:50. Here's my point. A nation of fierce countenance. Trump, DJT, ICE, the border czar, they have a fierce countenance. The Edomites have a fierce countenance, man. They hate you, Jakey, Keisha, and it's a spiritual hate. So it's deeper than just it's more than personal. It's a spiritual hatred. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old. He don't give a damn if you're an old man, old women. He taking you to jail. He got he's arresting you. He got old men and women, or old men and women in prison, 80, 90 years old, serving a life sentence, still in prison at 80, 90 years old, man. Can take an hour to get the child, take an hour to get the child because they walk so slow, or got to get wheelchaired there with a wheelchair. Then it takes them an hour to eat and get back, but they still got them locked up. which shall not regard the persons of old, nor show favor to the young. They taking infant babies. ICE is taking infant babies, little toddler children. Back to the video.
Promised he would launch the largest deportation program. It's been almost 3 weeks since Los Angeles became the epicenter of President Trump's massive deportation crackdown of undocumented immigrants. And now we are learning more about just who is being taken into custody. President Trump promised he would launch the largest deportation program of criminals in American history.
But new data suggests a majority of the people being taken into custody during these ICE raids have no criminal record. John Fenolio live in Hollywood with the numbers. John.
Yeah, sure, Micah. The Trump administration says it's primarily going after the worst of the worst, but this new information appears to contradict those claims. The new data show the majority of people arrested in recent ICE sweeps in the Los Angeles area and across the country have no history of violent crimes, and in many cases, no criminal history at all.
Hey, don't hurt him!
From car washes and bus stops to hardware stores and private homes, ICE agents across Southern California have been moving with speed and force to detain and deport thousands of undocumented immigrants. The government claims federal agents are targeting violent criminals.
The Department of Homeland Security is telling the American people that 75% of those illegal aliens who have been arrested have prior convictions.
Were convicted in a court for a violent crime. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct.
But new reporting by the LA Times shows the majority of those arrested had no criminal conviction and were picked up off the street. The Times compiled immigration enforcement data sets from the Deportation Data Project at UC Berkeley Law School, which found that from June 1st to June 10th, ICE arrested more than 700 people across greater Los Angeles, but nearly 70% were not convicted of any crime, and more than half had never been charged with a crime. The Times analysis found most were working-age men in their 30s. Nearly half were from Mexico. Others came from Guatemala and El Salvador.
What we're seeing now is pretty much unprecedented.
Immigration attorney Alex Galvez.
There is no transparency, no repercussions for ICE to be doing these type of actions, but it's a sign of the times for now. Ask for forgiveness later type of mentality. Just going randomly and profiling people and arresting them because they look Latino or they.
And that goes back to what my elder Mawatazak, the head brother GMSLA, who I'm with every weekend, he said at camp last week, he said that this is Nazi Germany back in the day, back during World War II, Nazi Germany.
They look undocumented. It's a violation of civil rights and constitutional rights.
Nationwide, it's a similar story. The Times citing a new report from the Cato Institute, a libertarian think tank, which shows the number of people arrested without criminal records has risen sharply. In June alone, ICE arrested more than 6,000 immigrants who had no convictions, and only about 7% of those arrested involve violent offenders. In fact, most of the charges involve immigration or traffic violations. The Department of Homeland Security has not responded to KTLA's request for comment. LA Mayor Karen Bass posting on X, confirming what we knew all along. This is not about going after criminals. It's about chasing people through Home Depot parking lots. This does not make LA safer. Los Angeles continues to stand united against these indiscriminate raids.
And we know she's part of it too. You know, all these politicians are all on the same. It's the same two wings of the same bird. The mayor of LA, Karen Bass, she's getting things prepared for 2028 for the Olympics. So she do want it cleaned up. And there's nothing she can do about it. You know, even though she might have a few little personal feelings toward it, but she can't stop it, and she ain't gonna even try to stop it because this is part of the agenda for the 2028 Olympics to clean up LA, get it clean. You know, remove, you know, anybody they can, or definitely Issachar and the Northern Tribe off the streets, as well as the homeless off the streets by 2028. So she's part of it as well. She's full of shit as well.
Immigrant rights advocates say that being in the U.S. without legal permission is not a criminal offense, but rather a civil violation of immigration law. As such, they say undocumented immigrants without criminal records should not be targeted and should be afforded due process. Again, we did reach out to the Department of Homeland Security for comment, but did not hear back before this broadcast. In the news center.
Of course, they didn't hear back from ICE. They ain't got to respond to you. They ain't got to respond to you. Let me get one more. Let me get another scripture. Bear with me. Go to my history one more time. Bear with me. Let's see. Yeah, this is a good one. Check this out. Check this out.
Immigration enforcement. Good evening. I'm Micah Allman. After weeks of immigration enforcement operations in Southern California, the Los Angeles Tenants Union is joining other labor and community leaders demanding ICE agents leave Los Angeles. The groups are calling for an eviction moratorium because of the immigration enforcement. KTLA's Rachel Menatop with details from downtown LA.
Hi, good evening. One of the tenants here today says people are scared to go to work, to go to school, to buy groceries, and it's nearly impossible to pay rent when family members are either detained or are in hiding.
What do we want? When do we want it?
Now. The Los Angeles Tenants Union and members of SEIU 721 marching through the streets of downtown LA. Stopping by the federal building where National Guardsmen and Marines have been stationed amidst wide-scale immigration enforcement. For its part, ICE says its men and women are putting their lives on the line every day to arrest violent criminals and defend the lives of American citizens. Steve Gibson says the ongoing, oftentimes surprise activity is actually negatively impacting LA's workforce.
And if immigrants are afraid to go to work, they're afraid to go out in public, they're afraid to go to the stores, afraid to take their kids to school, then that's strangling the economy.
Fight, fight, fight! Housing is a human right. The LA Tenants Union now urging City Council pass emergency protections, including an eviction moratorium within the next week.
I am Kenia Alcocer. I am undocumented, and I refuse to go back to the shadows.
This because many of Los Angeles's working class community will not be able to pay rent come July 1st. Last week, 7 city councilors joined legal forces to protect people from being racially profiled or unlawfully detained, a proposal that still has to make its rounds through City Hall.
This terrorizing of our communities have closed down businesses, have taken away street vendors, have separated families, and then people cannot pay their rent. They have barely the minimum to survive.
What do we want?
Felipe Cáceres is a coordinator with SEIU.
Right now, we are in an emergency and a crisis that has been worse than COVID in our city. There are people being kidnapped and put in this detention facility, and these are the primary breadwinners of their household.
And a representative from the city council says they did not discuss the possibility of an eviction moratorium at today's meeting, and there's no official written legislation at this point. In downtown LA, I'm Rachel Menatov, KTLA 5 News. Back to you.
Let's get one. Let's go. Let's go to. Well, I got a few on my right now. Let's go to this Isaiah 30. Isaiah 30 and start at verse 1 real quick. Isaiah 30 and 1. Woe to the rebellious children, the northern, well, all of us, all of Israel. We have been rebellious, calling on Caesar Borgia, celebrating Day of the Dead, Guadalupe, Mother Heaven, celebrate, like I said, calling on Caesar Borgia, believing in prosperity, Christianity. Woe to the rebellious children, says the Lord Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit. They add sin to sin. Verse 7. I'm sorry. Jump to verse 12. Isaiah 30 and 12. Let me see. I thought I had that queued up, but let me go to it real quick. Isaiah 30. That was verse 1. Isaiah 30 and 1. Let's go to Isaiah 30 and 12 real quick. Okay. You know what? Let's keep going. I'm gonna jump to verse 12. Let's read verse 2. Isaiah 30 and 2. that walked to go down to Egypt and have not asked at my mouth. So you see all these Issacharites protesting. What do you want? Ice out of LA. Ain't even no energy in that shit. What do you want? Ice out of LA. That walked to go down to Egypt. Egypt is modern day America with a triple K. And have not asked at my mouth. You have not called on Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and said, hey, help us with Esau, Edom, and this ice. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. No, you're calling on Guadalupe and Mother Heaven and Caesar Borgia. The scripture says that that walk to go down to Egypt and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. We're going to march. We're going to protest. Esau, Edom, a so-called white man, is not afraid of no protest. That ain't going to stop them from taking your mother and your children, your family from you. Issachar, northern kingdom. Verse 3. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame. So your strength in marching and protesting will be your shame. And the trust in your marching in Guadalupe and Caesar Borgia and Day of the Dead and your pork, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt, your confusion. That was Isaiah 30, verse 1 through 3. Jump to verse 12. Isaiah 30 and 12. Wherefore, thus says the Holy One of Israel, that's Yahweh, because you despise this word. We have a northern kingdom tribe teaching the truth all the time. Out on the highways and the byways here in LA. We got northern people, northern camps in Mexico teaching. The Men of Great Millstone and teaching in Mexico in Spanish. We got a GMS Spanish camps out here in Southern California as well as up north. So there's no excuse, Northern Kingdom. Wherefore, thus says the Holy One of Israel, because you despise this word, this knowledge, this truth, and trust in oppression and perverseness. You trust in Caesar Borgia, you trust in Guadalupe, you trust in Mother Heaven, you trust in your pork, you trust in your protesting, and trust in oppression and perverseness, and stay thereon. Verse 13, Isaiah 30, therefore this iniquity, this sin, this continual sin that you do shall be to you as a breach ready to fall. And it's happening now. Everything's falling apart. They can't do this. This ain't right. They're doing it. Swelling out in a high wall whose breaking cometh suddenly. See, Issachar, the so-called Mexican, Ephraim, all they had to do was shave their face. Guatemalans and Venezuelans and Argentinians, all they had to do was shave their face, and they kind of sort of look like Esau. So they've been living like a fat rat in a cheese factory. Ephraim should not vex Judah. You see, so it's always been it's about my brown pride. Okay, well now your brown pride is coming against you to bust you in your ass because you always hating on Jake, dark-skinned Jake, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant. Let me do let's go back to Hosea chapter 8. Let's read verse 7. Hosea 8 verse 7. For they have sown the wind, the northern kingdom, and they shall reap the whirlwind. You're reaping the whirlwind now. Ice on your ass, Ephraim. It has no stalk. The bud shall yield no meal. If so be it yield, the strangers shall swallow it up. That goes back to that vendor. One of the videos I played where they took old boy from his ice cream cart, just straight left his ice cream cart right there and just took him. Let's get one more video. Almost done. Let me see what else I got. Let's do this one. I don't know if I played this one yet. Let's do this one.
A few communities are canceling popular Independence Day events over safety concerns surrounding immigration raids.
Alina Bovian joins us live from Bell Gardens with React.
I think I did do that one. That's okay. Bear with me. Let me get one more. You know what? No, let me go to TikTok real quick. Let's go to TikTok. Let me see what I got. Check this out on TikTok.
President Trump is now targeting predominantly Democratic cities for ICE raids and deportations, planning to flood cities like LA, Chicago, New York with ICE agents, aiming for the, quote, single largest mass deportation program in history, saying he's setting his sights on cities with what he says has a high population of illegal immigrants, calling them the, quote, core of the Democratic power center.
In recent days, residents across Long Island have noticed an increased presence of ICE agents. The advocacy group ICE Slip Forward capturing these videos throughout Suffolk County.
It's been almost 2 weeks that we've seen really ramped up ICE presence.
On Wednesday morning, the federal agents were seen along Cedar Swamp Road in Glen Cove, specifically outside the Burger King. Glen Cove Police Lieutenant John Nagel telling Fox 5 at around 8:30 in the morning, officers responded to a call from a business owner saying an assault was in progress. When police arrived, they saw it was federal agents carrying out an enforcement operation. He says Glen Cove Police did not assist.
I agree, they take the bad people away, but not the innocent people.
Employees of the Burger King tell us the agents never went inside. They arrested the man, they put him in the car. They say the operation lasted just a few minutes. Sal, the manager of Bravo Supermarket, which is just up the block from where the latest ICE arrest took place, says there's a lot of confusion. Residents are terrified to even come food shopping.
Yes, there is fear in the community. People are asking if they've been here.
Has ICE or any federal agents ever come to your business?
No.
It's not just residents of Glen Cove. Those who live in Newcastle also scared. Barely anyone on the streets a day after Homeland Security investigators were in their neighborhood. Melanie Krebs is the executive director of Carecen.
We're seeing people picked up who have no criminal record. We're seeing people picked up who, have lived here for 10 years, paid their taxes, and they got detained in one of these raids.
According to ICE, on Tuesday afternoon, Long Island ICE Homeland Security investigators were conducting an operation associated to an ongoing federal investigation in the Newcastle Westbury area. Those agents, it says, were involved in a car accident. We are told the community surrounded the agents once they realized who they were. Nassau police, who arrived on the scene, tells Fox 5 they responded because of the car accident. To their knowledge, this was not a raid. ICE telling us in a statement in part, quote, this operation did not involve the nearby school and did not involve a vehicle pursuit. For the safety of our personnel, ICE HSI will not provide additional comment at this time. This ramped up activity is raising questions and striking fear in the community.
Dozens arrested, but who are they? One person now in ICE custody is 49-year-old Kung Chon Phan. The feds say the Vietnamese national's criminal history includes second-degree murder.
Violent clashes between protesters and the NYPD erupted in Lower Manhattan Tuesday night. Hours earlier, thousands gathered in Foley Square, rallying against the recent federal immigration raids.
I'm grateful to this country, but I need to speak up.
Jaime Gonzalez brought his daughters to the protest. He emigrated from Mexico 40 years ago.
I'm not a freeloader. I came here to work.
The demonstration in solidarity with the protests in Los Angeles, where President Trump has deployed the National Guard and Marines despite objections from the city's mayor and California's governor.
We don't have political rights, and we don't have the right to peacefully assemble to address our grievances without getting the National Guard sent to us, then nothing else really matters.
Protesters have marched over here to the federal immigration court offices in Lower Manhattan, where heavily armed NYPD officers are trying to keep them behind barricades, but the situation is tense. We watched police take several people into custody, the crowd at times wrestling with officers who pulled protesters to the ground.
If New York City stands up, if the country stands up, doesn't matter how many National Guard troops they have, we can peacefully stand up and resist.
And on Tuesday,
Reports that NYPD collaboration and information shared with federal agencies being used in civil immigration proceedings are disturbing.
City Council Speaker Adrian Adams, who's running for mayor, urged the Department of Investigations to investigate if the NYPD has been sharing information with ICE. The department responded the NYPD does not engage in civil immigration enforcement, period. While a spokesman for Mayor Eric Adams said it is despicable that Adrian Adams would try to fan the flames of fear solely for cheap political points.
Okay, real quick, before I play this video, let's get another precept real quick. What did I have? Let's go. Okay, I read that. Did I read this? Let's go to Hosea. Let's go back to Hosea. When you get a chance, read all of Hosea chapter 8 and 9. Okay. Let's start at verse 11, all the way down. Hosea chapter 8, verse 11. Because Ephraim, the northern kingdom, has made many altars to sin. Altars shall be unto him to sin. 12th verse. I have written to him the great things of my law. Hosea is saying, I have written to Ephraim the great things of my law through Hosea, but they were counted as a strange thing. Just like the men on the highways and the byways, the men of great millstone, the men of black doctrine, were on the highways and the byways week in and week out, doing the videos, doing the sit downs, talking to our people, you blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and Haitians, but we're giving you the great thing of the law, but they were counted as a strange thing. 13th verse, Hosea 8, they sacrifice flesh for the sacrifices of my offering. That goes back to one of the Northern Kingdom's holidays, the Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos, a 3-day celebration beginning October 31st through November 2nd, honoring deceased loved ones. That's sacrificing flesh for sacrifices of my offering. It says, and it blending Catholic All Saints and All Souls Day with indigenous traditions. Let's read another one. Las Posadas. Las Posadas celebrated nightly from December 16th to the 24th. These festivities symbolize Mary and Joseph's search for the lodging in Bethlehem. We never, in the ancient world, when we under King David and Moses, never celebrated Las Posadas. Let's do another one. Dia de la Candelaria, celebrated February 2nd. It commemorates the presentation of baby Yahushua at the temple. Why are you celebrating or commemorating the presentation of baby Yahushua at the temple? You're going off. Let's get one more. Let's get the rest of them. Epiphany, Dia de Reyes, celebrated on January 6th. It marks the arrival of the 3 wise men. Why? Why are you celebrating the arrival of the 3 wise men? Carnival, a pre-Lenten celebration with vibrant parades and festivities varying by religion. Saints Day. Many Mexicans celebrate their Saints Day similar to a birthday. We don't celebrate birthdays. The scripture says the day of one's death is better than the day of one's birth, with religious processions and festivities. Back to Hosea 8 and 13. They sacrifice flesh for the sacrifice of my offerings and eat it. But the Lord Yahweh accepteth them not, these holidays, these Mexican holidays, Ephraim holidays, Latin Northern tribe holidays. Now will he remember their iniquity. That's why you're being punished, Northern Kingdom, because the Most High has remembered your iniquity and visit their sins. They shall return to Egypt, which is bondage. You're returning back to bondage, Ephraim, for your wickedness. Hosea 8 and 14, for Israel, the Northern Kingdom, has forgotten his maker and buildeth temples And Judah has multiplied fenced cities, but I will send a fire upon his cities, and it shall devour the palaces thereof. Real quick, let's go. I'm gonna have this queued up. We'll go to Hosea chapter 9, but let's get back to this video real quick. A couple more videos. I'm gonna finish out in Hosea 9, and I'm out.
Are you from this country? No, we're fine. With the... What's your reaction to being
That's
detained?
a female officer right here. That's a female. Look, right here. Look at this. Female. You see those in New York, but look at this. Let me show you. Right here. That's a female right here. Look.
What's your reaction to being detained?
God damn.
What's your reaction to being detained? Early this morning. When you knock on my door.
Jake, you can be from the island.
The retro inside.
Oh, and what you're seeing here is it says moments after their court hearings, dozens of immigrants were arrested inside a federal building in New York. And I forgot the elder who was with us at camp today. I've met him several times, but I can't remember his name. It's on the tip of my tongue. And he's Issachar. He's one of the head brothers over the Issachar camp. He said that Esau is sending Issachar or the Northern Kingdom letters telling them to come to court, and we'll work it out with your immigration and your paperwork. Just come to court. And when they come to court, they get arrested. So I'm pretty sure this is what's happening right here. Let's go to the next video. Oh, this is the same one. Let's go to one more.
I'm on the trip.
Look, her pants is all wet. Threw her on the ground.
No, my son, please.
Crying for her son. They don't give a damn. That's that fierce king. Damn, I can't quote it real quick. I brought it out right here. Isaiah 19. Well, let's go to this one real quick. That's that nation of fierce countenance, which shall not, Deuteronomy 28 and 50, a nation of a fierce countenance, which shall not regard the persons of old, nor show favor to the young. And then that Isaiah 19 and 4, a cruel Lord, a fierce king. That was in Isaiah 19 and 4, as well as Deuteronomy 20 and 28 and 50. He's screaming. Crying.
Ma'am. Excuse me, officer. This is her daughter.
This is her daughter. It don't matter. This is her daughter, officer. This is her daughter. It don't matter. Esau don't give a damn. That's that fierce king in Isaiah 19 and 4. That cruel Lord in Isaiah 19 and 4. Look at her little daughter crying. Some bullshit, bro. But part of the curses. Let's see if I got one or two
We're a group
more.
of federal employees. In Southern California, dramatic videos show federal agents detaining day laborers in Home Depot parking lots and chasing farm workers across fields.
What you're doing is kidnapping.
This street vendor clung to a tree as agents tried to bring her into custody. According to the Department of Homeland Security, more than 1,600 people have been taken into custody in L.A. alone in the last 3 weeks. An all-out blitz promised by border czar Tom Homan at the start of the raids.
Are there more days coming ahead?
Goddamn devil.
Absolutely. We're going to be out there every day.
President Trump reiterating today he wants to deport 1 million undocumented immigrants a year.
What we're doing is we're really going after the criminal aliens, of which we have plenty to work with.
But according to new ICE data obtained by NBC News, 120,000 out of the 185,000 immigrants arrested by ICE since October have committed no serious crimes. Alejandro Barranco says that includes his father, Narciso, an undocumented landscaper who was cutting bushes at an IHOP when he was pinned to the ground by federal agents last weekend. DHS says he tried to assault the agents with a weed whacker, a claim Alejandro refutes.
You served in Afghanistan. What would have happened if you would have treated a detainee that way in the Marines?
I promise you it would have been a war crime, and the situation would have been completely different.
DHS says its officers used the minimum amount of force in detaining Barranco.
If President Trump is watching, what do you want to say to him?
I want President Trump to know that not all these undocumented people are bad. Most of them are here, hardworking people.
Tom, late today, DHS has released a list of criminals that they say have been arrested under this operation in L.A., but our reporting indicates that it's only 6% of undocumented immigrants who have been known to have been convicted of a homicide who have been detained since October.
All right, Jacob Sobroff, great to see you.
Real quick, let's get to the scriptures, and I'm already 5,000. Let's go to Hosea chapter 9, verse 1. Hosea chapter 9, verse 1. Rejoice not, O Israel. The title in the blue letter of this chapter is Ephraim punished, the northern kingdom punished. Hosea 9 and 1. Rejoice not, O Israel, that's the northern kingdom, for joy as other people. For you have gone a whoring from your power. You have loved a reward upon every corn floor. Jump down to verse 6. Hosea 9, verse 6. For lo means look, for look, they are gone because of destruction. Esau Edom is taking you away, northern kingdom, because of destruction or by destruction. Egypt shall gather them up, the Edomites. ICE is gathering them up. Memphis shall bury them. And what is it? Memphis is your ruin, or America, modern day America, shall bury them. The pleasant places for their silver, nettles shall possess them. Thorns shall be in their tabernacle. That's not good, northern kingdom. Verse 7, Hosea 9. The days of visitation are come. Ice baby is on your ass, northern kingdom. The day of recompense are come, northern kingdom. Israel, the northern kingdom, shall know it. Now they know. They're not coming to work. They're not going to the store. They're not going to because out here we got Vallarta, which is a Issachar market, Superior, which is an Issachar market. No one's in there. There's an article that came out where the farmers can't farm their food because all of Issachar is not coming to work. So that may be the beginning of a manufactured famine of food. Israel shall know it. That's why they're not going to work. The prophet is a fool. Cardinal Crack Pipe, Caesar Borgia, Mother Heaven, Guadalupe is a fool. The spiritual man is mad for the multitude of your iniquity, northern kingdom, and the great hatred that you have toward the southern kingdom, as well as the Most High, by worshiping these false idols. 8th verse, Hosea 9 and 8. The watchman of Ephraim was with Yahweh. Who is or was the watchman of Ephraim? The prophet Hosea. The prophet Hosea is the watchman of Ephraim, which was with Yahweh. The prophet is a snare of a fowler in all his ways. So Hosea was, the northern kingdom was trying to capture or kill Hosea for telling them the truth. Hosea 9 and 8, the watchman of Ephraim, which is Hosea, was with my power. But the prophet, which is Hosea, is a snare, a trap of a fowler in all his ways, according to Ephraim, and hatred in the house of his power. So Hosea was hated by the northern kingdom for his knowledge and his truth of telling them who they are and their wickedness. 9th verse, Hosea 9 and 9. They have deeply corrupted themselves, the northern kingdom, as in the days of Gabal, and Gabal was a city in Judah. Therefore, he will remember their iniquity, who the Most High Yahweh. He will visit their sins, and it's happening now. Jump to verse 11. Hosea 9 and 11. As for Ephraim, the northern kingdom, their glory shall fly away like a bird. Now you don't have that glory, that pompous, disrespectful, arrogant, proud spirit that you have toward the southern kingdom. Because you got, 5 people living in a home and y'all all saving y'all money and y'all acting very proud. Issachar is very proud. The northern kingdom is very proud. As for Ephraim, their glory shall fly away as a bird from the birth and from the womb and from the conception. 12th verse. Though they bring up their children, yet will I bereave them. See, you just saw that mother being taken away from her daughter that she brought up. That there shall not be a man left. All those Issacharite northern kingdom men being taken, Ephraim being taken. Woe also to them when I depart from them. And he has departed from you, northern kingdom, because you're calling on Guadalupe, Caesar Borgia, celebrating the Day of the Dead. 13th verse, Hosea 9. Ephraim, the northern kingdom, as I saw Tyrus, is planted in a pleasant place. But Ephraim shall bring forth his children to the murderer. Who's the murderer? Esau Edom. You're bringing your children to the murderer by bringing them over to America, by not having them documented, by being displaced. You're bringing them to the murderer, Esau Edom. 14th verse, Hosea 9. Give them, O Yahweh, what will you give? Give them a miscarrying womb and dry breast. 15th verse. All their wickedness is in Gilgal, for there I hated them. For the wickedness of their doings, I will drive them out of my house. I will love them no more. All their princes are revolters. Hosea 9 and 16. Ephraim, the northern kingdom, is smitten. Their root is dried up. They shall bear no fruit. Yea, though they bring forth, yet will I slay even the beloved fruit of their womb. Last but not least, Hosea 9 and 17. My power will cast them away, because they did not hearken unto him. See, the northern kingdom did not want to listen to Hosea. Just like the northern kingdom, as well as the southern kingdom, don't want to listen to the men of great millstone and the men of like doctrine that are on the highways and the byways week in and week out with the beards, the Bibles, and the garments, giving you this knowledge. And they shall be wanderers among the nation. It's your brother Kawas Malak with a quick hit. Hope less was that final to the point. What did I title it? That title comes from, I titled it, Because Ephraim has made many altars to sin, altars shall be unto him sin. And I got that from Hosea chapter 8. Bear with me. Right, Hosea chapter 8, verse 11. It's your brother Kawas Malak. Cover less with edifying and to the point. Pray for me. I'm praying for you, Israel. Kwam Yasharala. Rise, Israel. We got next, baby. Any day now, guaranteed. Can't wait. Book it. Barakathi Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Barakathi Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Barakathi Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Bahashem Rakahak Radash. Once again, double honors to the apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone that taught me this truth, that rule well. Peace and salutation to the hopeful. Peace and salutation to the hopeful 144 elect. Pray for me as well. I'm praying for you. To the next one, to you, I say shalom. Oh, double honors to the apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone that taught me this truth, that rule well. Peace and salutation to the hopeful 144K men that are left on planet Earth, as well as the 1/3 men, women, and children. To the next one, Israel. To you, I say shalom. Abba Babal DTA. Shalom.